Hi everybody, it's Sarah Cray with Let's Make Art, and I am so excited to reveal the Monet watercolor projects that we have planned for you along with the supplies list. We have Michael here working the cameras.
Oh, hey.
And I'm in my Monet scarf, which I received from a friend, if you can't tell.
It's very beautiful.
Is it beautiful?
I actually do love it.
Oh, me too, actually. Okay, so let's just get into it because I am so excited about this course. If you guys don't know, we have been teasing you guys about a Monet digital course and saying, we'll release a project, we'll release a supply list, and today is that day, so we're super excited to do it. Now, I will say that doing this course, doing the deep dive into Monet, having the opportunity to specifically study so many of his paintings and understanding his life and his process has been a joy. And I hope that you can feel that excitement because it's truly been some of the most fun I've had in a very long time. Monet has been one of my favorite artists. I mean, seeing his painting for the first time just blew my mind. I didn't know that painting could be what it is, and it really shifted my whole outlook of art and fine art and what it means. And it's super meaningful to me. So like to have this opportunity to share my love of it with you is amazing. And I just cannot wait to get in. So let's actually do this. So I decided to focus on the Water Lily series because, I mean, Monet has a lifetime of work. And I felt like if I did the whole thing, it would just be like way too much I was trying to cover.
800 projects.
Yeah, seriously. I wouldn't have been able to edit. And so with the Water Lilies, I was just like, this is the perfect opportunity for us just to like dive in and focus on something that I really, really love and really what he's mostly known for. Okay?
All right.
So, Michael.
Yes.
Can you give me a drum roll, please?
I absolutely can. Drum roll.
First project. This is called the Water Lily Pond Left Panel. So these are all based off of his paintings that he has done. This one is actually, you can see it at the Met in New York. And it was made between 1917 and 1919. Now, the funny thing about the Water Lily series is there's like so many paintings that I'm going to have to like define it by the years as well, because it's literally like water lilies, water lilies, water lily pond, water lily, water lily. So I'm going to do it by year and place. So you guys, and then also if you're in that area, you can go and see this in person, because let me tell you, seeing Monet paintings in person is an experience. It is worth it. And I hope you guys have the opportunity to do that. So this is our very first project, and I love the colors of the pink and the green. I specifically chose this for the colors that you see here with the little pops of blue and fuchsia throughout. It is stunning and it is a joy. And we get the willow tree reflection.
Which are Sarah's favorite trees, if you didn't know?
My favorite trees. Okay, that's project number one. For project number two, we have water lilies.
Ooh.
1914, 1917. Now this is on view in San Francisco. And so if you want to go to the Fine Art Museum in San Francisco, you can see this painting in real life. I wanted to do a water lilies painting where we get to explore the shapes of the flowers and the water lilies more because it's up close. So we're going to have a lot of different kind of scenes that you'll see here, but this one is my up close one where we really get to play with the texture of the flowers and the water lilies, and we get to see it from a little bit different perspective than the kind of more far away ones that we're used to. And also, can we talk about this like pink purpley color up here? I mean, this one is so fun.
So beautiful.
I just like the colors in this are so beautiful. I can't even. I'm so in love with it. Okay, Michael, drum roll, please, for project number three. This is Japanese Bridge and Water Lily Pond, 1899. Okay, and this you can see at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. We had to do a bridge in there, okay? Now, this one's going to take a while because there's so many different layers, but it's so beautiful. We get to play with all of the different textures, all of the different colors. It's probably like the one what's interesting about his work, and you'll see this, is his earlier stuff is not nearly as abstract as his later stuff. So
Mm.
this was 1899. This was the beginning of that kind of series. And so we get to see how his focus has changed from something where it's really, you can tell this is water and bridge, to something that goes really abstract. Okay, so I'm excited to take that journey with you. Now, our last project. Are you ready for it?
Ready. Ah.
This is my favorite one of the bunch.
Me too.
I did one in my journal. This one is actually, I got to see this one. It's at the Nelson Atkins Museum in Kansas City. It's called Water Lilies. It was done between 1915 and 1925. This one is so much more abstract compared to like the bridge that we just saw. We get to play with so many different colors. It's so fun. I'm so giddy. I can't wait to do this with you guys. And just so you guys know, there will be outlines for all of these projects. So on top of these painted projects, just to give you a little information about how we're going to do the course, is we'll have the projects, but then I'm also going to have technique videos where I'm going to show you how to break it down in terms of drawing, because with Impressionism, the brush movement and the strokes and the direction is actually really, really important to the painting itself. So these will come with outlines, but I am going to show you the process of how to break it down. I'll give you examples of how Monet did that as well. We will also be talking about color, how to basically take time to observe the colors, how they work with each other, how to play them against each other. And we're also going to talk about materials. Okay, so that leads us into our supplies that we're going to be using for this project. Okay? Now, for the supplies, I wrote a note when we first released this course about the impression of a supply list, and I want you to take a second and recognize that before I get into the supplies specifically. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you can use any of the supplies that you already have. If you've been painting with me for a while, you probably have everything that we're going to use. And if you want to use other stuff, please do. Okay. So in the technique videos where we go over the supplies, I'm going to show you, depending on what you're using, how you're going to use it and when. Okay. So layering is going to be huge in this course. So if you have Neo colors from when we did bonus items, or you just have them, they're going to work great. If you have gouache from the holiday card making box and you want to use that, fantastic. That's going to work beautiful. If you have pigment sticks that I have every color of here and you want to use those, beautiful. That's going to work great. If you have liquid watercolor, fantastic. If you have tube watercolors, perfect. If you have pan watercolors, stunning. Like literally just use what you have.
Excellent.
Okay. But for all of these projects, I only used 5 colors. Okay. So the actual like colors that I use for this is the tube paints. I use Daniel Smith, Q Gold, Quinacridone Gold, Phthalo Blue Green Shade, and Q Rose or Quinacridone Rose. Okay, those are the 3 tube watercolors I use. And then I use 2 pigment sticks. This one, you can tell that they are definitely well used and loved. This one is Hansa Yellow Medium. And then this one is Ultramarine Blue. Okay, so it's just these 5 colors. Now, if you're saying, but Sarah, I don't have Hansa Yellow, but I have Cad Yellow, would that work? Yeah. I don't have Q Rose, but I have Magenta, would that work? Yes. I don't have Ultramarine, but I have King's Royal Blue, would that work? Yes. Cobalt Blue, like, look into my eyes and peer into my soul when I say this. You can literally use whatever colors you already have. Okay?
All right.
And how I approach this, if you're just like, well, I have all of these in tube, do I really need to get the pigment sticks? That I'm going to leave up to you. The pigment sticks are an opportunity for you to get to use another supply. And basically what I did is I went, okay, I have these tube colors already, but I didn't have tube colors of these 2 colors. And so I'm like, I'll use pigments of those. So if you have tube colors of all of these, but you don't have the pigment of the Q Rose, maybe that's where you grab the pigment stick of that, or, all of that kind of stuff. So anyways, feel free to mix and match. If you have Neo colors that are very similar to these colors, that should work just fine as well. Okay?
Okay.
Again, like really use what you have.
Use what you've got.
Use what you got. Another huge, this one is actually really, really important, is you want to have some good bleed proof white for this because we will be utilizing this to layer and get some really delicious texture. So if you have a bleed proof white that is like really, really desiccated and like on its way out, I would get a fresh little tub of bleed proof white for this.
Around here, we call that crusty.
Crusty.
Got a crusty bleed proof white.
You've got some crusty bleed proof white, maybe freshen her up a bit. If you have like whitewash, that would work great too. Basically, we want to use a way to turn some of our watercolors opaque so we can layer them. That's the point of the bleed proof white. So these are the paint supplies. Again, I will have a video showing you how to use whatever other things that you have. The beautiful thing about Monet as well is he painted the same subject so many times that there is the same thing in like 5 different colorways. So if you're looking at these projects and you're just like, you know what, I don't really care for that green or the pink and the green, I'd rather have blue and green. Guess what, baby? There's an example of that and you can absolutely switch the colors. So that's no problem at all. And I really want you to approach this with a sense of freedom when it comes to your supplies, when it comes to your colors, when it comes to your movements, okay? And I will show you how to do that if that scares you. But I hope that that kind of like excites you a little bit too. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay, now when it comes to brushes, this is what I will say. I am going to use a quill or like a larger brush because we're going to be layering washes. And so it's just nice to have a brush that can hold a lot of paint and water for that first 2 steps. But if you have like around 12, that will work beautiful too. Basically like a nice watercolor brush. The rest of the brushes, I kind of want you, if you have like really student grade brushes, grab those. And so what I mean by student grade is like the Royal Golden Taklon brushes, which are these navy handles with the gold ferrule. These are great because they're like $1 each, and they're good brushes for how much they cost. So basically I'm using like all student grade brushes except for my quill. And the reason for that is we are using a lot of like thicker paint here, and I'm being really messy with this that I don't want to have to, like, I'm not going to be taking my quill and dipping it in my bleed proof white. You know what I mean?
You don't have to be tender with these brushes, kind of.
Yeah, like you want to allow them to kind of like work the paint and the materials a little bit. And so with that, I wanted to use brushes that I'm not really afraid of ruining. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Then your next question might be, well, what if I don't want to buy new brushes and I just have like my Princetons? You can absolutely use those brushes. Just make sure that you rinse them really, really well after each use, after each painting session. And you might want to grab a brush conditioner because I've noticed that with using a lot of bleed proof white, it can kind of cause the bristles to kind of become
Firm, kind of?
not brittle. A little, not as soft. They take on a more brittle texture when I use a ton of bleed proof white. So that's the only thing. So you can use the brushes that you already have. However, if you have some student grade brushes laying around, or if you just want to head to Walmart, grab some craft brushes, that'll work great too. Okay?
Perfect.
You also are going to want to have a pencil that you do not mind ruining.
Okay. Ominous, but okay.
And I will show you later why and how we're going to use that. But to go over it again for the supplies, please just use what you have. Use it up. Use things from 2 years ago. Use things that random person gave you that you don't know what to use that. But the actual colors that we will be using for these 4 projects, Q Gold, Phthalo Blue, Q Rose, Ultramarine, and Hansa Yellow Medium. Okay? Ultramarine, Hansa Yellow Medium are my pigment sticks from Daniel Smith. The rest are the tubes. But again, you got this. Okay?
Okay.
Let's do a preview of the projects one more time. I'm just going to lay them all out. Here we have water lilies. Here we have Japanese bridge and water lily pond. Here we have water lilies. And here we have the water lily pond left panel.
Real creative with the naming.
But look at the colors.
Yeah, it's so good together.
They're so beautiful. And one last final little surprise for you guys is I have had the pleasure of painting Monet paintings in my journal for a while. I've been doing that the last couple of months. and I haven't been sure kind of like what to do with them. And then I just thought, what if I just included these videos as process videos for you guys? So they're not going to be tutorials. They're not going to be step-by-step tutorials. However, every Monet painting that I have done in my journal, you will also receive that video, and we'll probably just put it to like music behind it or something like
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah.
And you guys can see the process of it. Okay, so that includes this painting. And I know I said I would focus on Water Lily series, but I have to put this one in there. So that's also going to include Impression Sunrise, which is just stunning. We will also be doing clouds.
Love that one.
We will also be doing this one. This was the first of the water lilies that I tried, and I just fell in love. And then the last one is this one here, which is a much moodier one. This one you can tell is winter and fall, and I find it so beautiful. So on top of the 4 step-by-step projects that come with outlines, you will receive the process videos of all of the Monet paintings that I have done in my journal. Okay?
Excellent.
Okay, so one final thing I wanted to go over is you might be wondering, is this for beginners? That is an excellent question. Yes. And I say yes with slight hesitation because I'm not going to be going over how to use watercolor specifically. So if you want to brush up on our beginner watercolor or watercolor 101 series on YouTube, just to get a feel for how watercolor works, that is what I suggest doing. Everything else I will break down. I will break down how to use these supplies. I will break down how to achieve the texture, how to achieve the layers. You will have outlines. And I am approaching this from a let's dive into Monet type of experience. So it is beginner friendly. However, I do will be teaching in a way that you have some experience with watercolor specifically. Okay. I think that's it. Okay, thank you guys so much. The response has been overwhelming, and I am so thrilled to do this with you. It has been a joy to learn and to paint and to practice and to really dive into one of my favorite painters of all time. I hope that you enjoy this course as much as I have enjoyed making it and creating it for you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.